Morning. Jesus. Well, my streaming service appears to be working. It appears to be working today. It appears to be working today. Man, I was looking for that crossover in gold retest of the prior day low. God dang, I was looking for that. Man, I needed that. I needed that trade to set up. God dang it. If you look at the swings in gold right now, it is beyond insane. So if you can catch a rotation in gold right now, I mean the dollar amounts are insane. I mean insane. I mean right now gold's at the point where its swings are $1,000 in money. I'll give you an example right here. Let me pull this over just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So just for conversational purposes, if this rotation 1 minute gold line was an actual valid trade, which it's not, at 216. Down here is 201. Do the math. Just insane. Insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, you blew past the $1,000 mark when you were going to the low. You blew past the $1,000 mark on your way to the low. That's why I was pumped for a prior day low crossover retest in gold. I mean, I was like sitting here chewing on the bit, hoping for that thing to touch and then ping. Because I mean, you know, a trade like that, if I could chew on my nails long enough, you know, is easily $1,000 trade. Ah, shit. But it didn't do it. It didn't set up. That doesn't mean it won't do it later. It doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't mean that gold isn't, you know, at a point now where it's found its bottom for the day by doing all this shit, and that it won't rotate over, sit on top, and give us that long. It's definitely something to keep your eye on. Yeah. Gold is, I mean, gold is like, the movement in gold is just insane. It's insane. That's why I'm saying if you can catch a rotation in it, the rotations right now are like $1,000. I'm down $30 this morning from exactly that situation. When I got into a gold trade earlier, and before I could even grab my stop and move it, it had knocked me out because I wanted to put it below the candle. The candles are so big. And the trade went and worked. And I was like, fuck. So I jumped into another trade in gold and got, you know, my money back. So I'm down $30. Right now I sit $30 down. Couple trades in gold. But the first one I was in worked. I mean, it was like a $500 trade like that, but it just ching got me out so fast because the size of the moves in gold right now are insane. Whew. Sorry. Whew. That's probably a good idea, Will, because it's like trading. It's like trading the NQ during an Apple earnings release or something. Yeah, it's it's insane right now. Gold is just insane. That's why that crossover retest of the prior day low, man, I was ready to make my money for the whole week. I just needed it to set and then go. Oh, man. It's probably just as well yesterday's stream didn't work. It's probably going to be TMI what I'm about to say, but you know, I've been sick since Tuesday of last week. And yesterday morning, I spent half the morning in the bathroom. I just couldn't even, I don't know. Customers, I had customers on the phone with me yesterday. They're like, "Well, you sound fine, Bob." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel fine, but I mean, I can't roam too far from my house right now without a bag to throw up in or something. Just terrible, man." All right, let's see here. I've been so focused on gold this morning. I just I haven't even looked at the equities. It's not the bad sign right here is that we're sitting at the open in YM. That's not a good sign at all. That's a terrible sign. That's literally a terrible sign for the YM. NQ is down today. Okay. Not bad. All right. ES is down. All right. That's amazing that the YM has all this strength to stay at the open when those big dogs are down like that. Even the RTY is down. Oh yeah, down quite a bit. Yeah, they're clustered together. Plus, I mean, I have a little unwritten rule that I found works really good for me in trading because I consider the open another form of directional trading. Are we north of it or are we south of it? And when we're hanging out around it, you like what we're doing right now, you can see that there seems to be no commitment by the market movers to have it be long or short. So how am I going to trade it? So when I'm around, I don't mind if price is way north of the overnight open, then it runs down and hits it, and we take the rejection back long, or vice versa from the bottom up, and run up into it and then down, or cross over it because we're changing directions, from down below to up above. But when we hang out around it, it doesn't bode well because that means there's not going to be the expansion and contraction that I like in a trade. Because it's a directionless market right now for the YM. Woo-wee. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, for me to take a trade at the overnight open, price has to come from somewhere to it. I can't trade it because it doesn't, it when price is around it, that means we're directionless. But the RTY is just going to keep rolling down. See, this trade right here in the RTY was just way too early for me. But I mean, it's the same. Look at that. Reset. Here's your candle north of your gold line. Boom, down, Donchian Channel, daily low, 1 minute gold line. Shoot. This exact setup to the long side happened yesterday, but just about at the 943 mark instead of at the 939 mark. And it was a beautiful trade. Back through the highs, for like good, easy $400. There was several people in this room that took it and made $400 off of it. I saw it this morning. I'm like, it's too early. It's way too, I just cannot do that. I cannot pull the trigger on a 1 minute gold line at freaking 9:39 in the morning. Oh man. All right, let's see here. Good morning, Wayne. Jesus. Well, we're going to have to trade some moving averages today. We are going to have to trade some moving averages today because we are outside the realm of the lines, the static lines, other than YM. I wonder what the bond market's doing today. The bond market must be flush with cash today. Jesus. It's got to be flush with cash today. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bond market's flush with cash today. All right. That makes sense. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jesus. I'm brain dead. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus. Yeah, hold on. Let me figure out how to move that again. I'm sorry. I was so excited I could even get the stream to work this morning. I was so excited I could even get the stream to work this morning. I didn't even set it up right. Sorry about that. The 30 years down 4 bips. The 10 years down 4 bips. The 5 years down 3 bips. I mean, they got to put their cash somewhere. That's a good question, Patch, because you just described anybody in here that's ever. I bet you Jim. I bet you Jim Racine can answer that question. I know I can too. I've been there. That's part of why, Patch. That's a side note of why I have $1,000 a week. That's one of the bullet points of why I have $1,000 a week goal. That's one of the side notes. The other one is just not feel pressure to have to trade. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the things that I didn't. It's not so great about a prop firm. Is like it's not as bad today as it used to be. When I first started trading prop firms, it was worse because you had to trade, I think it was 10 days minimum with consistency to get even an eval, to pass an eval minimum along with the profit to then get a PA. But then when you got the PA, you had to trade 20 days. 20 days. And, so you were forced to continue to get into the market. The whole point is they want to force you into the market. And I like the freedom that I have right now to get into the market if I want to. You know what I mean? It just allows me to, when things just don't seem right, or I just don't feel like it's whatever, then I just don't do it. Like I said, that gold trade that I was eyeing right here, this crossover retest, man, that was going to be my trade for the whole week, man. Because, you think about it. Like if you're in right here at 31.7, 41.7 is $1,000. That's only right there, right here. The rotation there was almost exactly that. It's insane. And by the way, this crossover retest right here, consolidation candle brought it right to there. Is that not just now that move right there, which is 267 down to 230, $3,700. $3,700. That rotation. $3,700 one contract. Insane. Yeah, 20 days. So that's why, for example, Amelia, when I did when I first started this YouTube channel, that is exactly why I traded the 1 minute gold line on the ES. And that's it. That's all I did. I was like, I'm not going to let these guys outsmart me and force me into trading, some crazy ass stuff. So I just conservatively did crossover retests of the 1 minute gold line in the ES, and I let it go up, and I'd get, a point or two, so $100, $200, close it out, because I had 20 days to get to my $3,000. So that's what I did. That was the trade. That was the one and only trade I did. And overall, between the eval and the PA, I had over 30 days in a row that I didn't lose money. Now, I had some days where I, broke even, but I had over 30 days in a row that I never lost money. Doing just that. Just some simple crossover retest dick and dunks. And of course, they were going to pay me, because that's about as simple and conservative of a trading strategy you can have. Oh, thanks, Nathan. Thanks. And welcome. This is one of those days that I'm not very excited about trading, though. I can tell you that. Because when the market's already one direction or another, and it's way in that direction. It's hard to find setups. For me, it's hard to find setups. Yeah, I traded personal too, Amelia, and then I stopped and I started the business that I own right now, and built it up and all that kind of stuff. Didn't have time to think about trading. And when COVID came along, I outsold my business. I couldn't sell more product because I couldn't build more product. So I just happened to be sitting in front of YouTube one day, and this commercial pops up, commercials about prop firms and, Ninja and that kind of stuff. And I went, what the hell is that? And it's literally what got me back in. What got me back in that respect was I felt like, well, shit, I'm not risking any money. I got all this free time because I can't sell more houses. I got to stop answering my phone because I can't build more houses. And so I started just screwing around. I mean, what's $30? So I pulled out on one of my old desktops. I opened up the desktop, and I found old charts that I had, and I basically just wrote down all the settings again, and then I set it back up, and boom, there I went. And took me a while because one of the biggest flaws with prop firms is that, in my opinion, is that you only have a $30 investment in it. So I didn't take the stuff seriously enough. And then I realized, hey, why am I letting these guys kick my ass? I just keep buying these accounts. So I focused, and I literally put the whole journey on YouTube. I focused to pass the eval, get my PA, and get paid. And, it worked because what I had lost was discipline. I had lost discipline. I mean, because a $30 account, who the hell cares? I mean, at the end of the day, when you're talking about swings on these charts that are, $500 to $1,000, who cares about a $30 eval account? And so my mindset wasn't right. So part of the problem with prop firms, for those that kind of get how to trade now, and one of the things I talk about on why you should get out of using a prop firm after you get further down the road is you're going to have some bad habits from using a prop firm that you're not going to have if you're using real money. No, Mike, because we're below the 5-minute red line. So I'm not looking for longs. You got to remember, your 5-minute red line is your directional. So since we're way below it, we're looking for shorts only. So the reset would actually be if we push back down below this low, come back up into the gold line, and then go short again. I don't see that as a potential setup, though, because we are probably pretty extended in gold to the downside, but it's not a reset for long. By the way, I'll just show you this too, Mike. If you'll notice, we ran right into, I've got it very lightly colored, but we ran right into the 5-minute 9 EMA. And that's exactly where it stopped, and that's exactly where it rotated from. There's a reason. There's a reason. That's exactly where it stopped, and that's exactly where it rotated from. No, I am not, Christine. whenever Ninja comes out with the newest version, I never download it until I make sure that they've had enough people do it and they realize how fucked up it is and then fix the bugs. Because Ninja's notorious for releasing new releases that don't work because they're not actually trading it. They use you as the test pilot. Well, I don't want to be the test pilot. Yeah, it never got there, though. It never got there on the YM, David. It just didn't get there, but you're right. That would have been one. Definitely would have been one. It just didn't get there. Definitely would have been one. Absolutely. You are correct, David. It just never got there. That's why I tell people you can't look at these charts after the fact with a 1 minute candle, with a 1 minute gold line on there, because it'll give you false signals. You have to look at it live, and live that didn't pierce there, unfortunately. The other problem too, David, is I just, from here's your entry. Granted, we got a nice big candle. That's all exciting, but you got to look at this being your resistance, and there's, I didn't do the math, but it's probably not a lot of room there. This would have definitely been a lot better if another candle formed right here, and then we had the rotation. Yeah, another thing, Mike. That's why I don't have it in my description in the stream, in the live stream, but on my chart I do have very lightly colored the 5 minute gold line, which is just another EMA set to 45. I have it very lightly on there so I can see it, because I know if we're stretching to it, it's going to be resistance or support, depending on which side you're coming from. And that's an example of why the long, that's just one example. Let me give you some examples. That happens to be one. This is a very good lesson right here. That happens to be one of the examples of why a long in the 1 minute gold line is not a setup, because this is the fastest moving average that traders normally use, this 9 EMA. Okay. But once you get on top of it and you're going back towards this way, you're now swimming against the current of longer term moving averages that are going to punch you in the face. And so you don't want to swim against the current. You want to swim with the current. So there's other moving averages coming down because we've had such a down day, pushing price back down. That's my point. But this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. As I say that, the RTY runs all the way back up here. As I say that, the RTY runs all the way back up here. I'm hoping the market rotates and starts going long, to be honest with you, because we're so far down. I just think we'll get some movement if we start going long. We're so far down already. I just think if we start going long, we'll get some movement and be able to take some trades. The YM's telling everybody, I don't care where you went, we're going long. I don't care where you clowns are at, we're going long. But also, I like to have all of them in agreement. I've talked about it. That's one of the great things about gold is kind of its own animal. And sometimes it's hard for the YM to go long if the ES is going short. because they're conflicting with each other. If you've been on these live streams enough, you've seen me sit here and point out that all the candles, like today may not be that day as of right now, but the candles colors, just look at the candle colors and then look at the candle colors between, say, the NQ and the ES. Well, when the candle colors tend to be exactly the same, it's because they're moving in the same sequence. They're just not in the same part. They're just not necessarily in the same position on your chart. So you might take a long, let's say you're getting ready to take a long in the NQ. It's nice if you're seeing the candle colors being the same and you look over at the ES and you realize, holy shit, the ES is about to hit, the overnight open or whatever to the long side, and you're about ready to take a long in the NQ because the setup happened, you might second guess taking this NQ, because what's going to happen is as that NQ is rolling up and that ES rolls up into that overnight open, the ES is going to start getting sold out and pushed and pushed and pushed, and that NQ is going to get stuck, and you're in that NQ. That's one of the complicated parts of trading equities, is even though they're always in different positions, like the RTY just bounced off of a red line, even though they're always in different positions, they have different things that they're running into, and they move in sequence a lot of times. And so you got to kind of glance at all. Like if I'm going to take a YM trade, I want to take it when I see the ES doing the same thing. It's just makes it easier. The follow throughs and the rotations end up being bigger, and your profit margins end up being bigger, and so your risk to reward ends up working if they're in conjunction with each other. And right now we've got YM long and we've got the other three short. So they're not really together, and you could see how the YM is struggling. The YM wants to go long, but the other three markets are short. I wouldn't have taken that. Well, I mean, I'm telling you this after the fact. But I wouldn't have been taking that RTY short, because we broke this major pivot on the rotation up. This major pivot right here. We broke it on the rotation up. I like those rotations where my bigger pivots to my left don't get compromised when I go to that red line. Very good, Dominic. You said it for me. You said exactly. And Christine said the same thing. Yeah, you want them to be in agreement. You don't want the stair stepping to the long side to be conflicting with you trying to go to the short side. I mean, this may still hold, but it's a battle. The one thing that's helping this right here right now is this right here. This is in the same position now. They're both in the same position. They both have the same issue. They're at the red line. So the ES is at the red line at the same time the RTY is. So they're, the contention is they both want to go short. The NQ is lagging. It hasn't gotten there yet. But I do like, I've said this, I want this to start going long. I want this to start going long. I want this to start going long because this is long. And then when they're all in the same direction of where we should be looking for trades, I feel more comfortable taking trades. That's again, let's go back to gold. That's why gold's relatively easier to trade. You don't have to think about all that crap. You just got to look at it. What's my swing strength for pivots? What did I do to gold? I sold my my Fort Knox full of gold last night, Wayne, and it crashed the market. What were those guys? Who's the guys that cornered the market, the silver market back in the 80s? God, I can't remember. The brothers. Remember the two brothers that cornered the silver market? God dang, I can't remember their name. They screwed up the whole silver market. I think the federal government got mad at them too. Pretty sure the federal government got mad at them. The Hunt brothers, that's right. Yeah, the Hunt brothers. Yeah. Yeah, Soros is our current clown, but somehow he never seems to get in trouble. Figure that one out, Wayne. Because what he learned that the Hunt brothers didn't know is you got to pay the politicians first, then go screw with things. Oh, and tell Nancy Pelosi what you're about to do so she can take the trade too. All right, so look, we might be finally getting, well, there was nothing to catch in the YM. The YM had to go somewhere before we started trading it. Now it's gone somewhere. When it was sitting in consolidation right here, all we would have been doing is guessing. Oh, yeah, swing 5. If that's what you meant. I have it at 5. My setting on my swing indicator is 5. Now I understand the question, since Mike was smart enough to know what the question was and answer it. Now you can set that to different settings if you want to see swings more clearly, blah 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 blah. I have mine set to 5. I don't use the swing indicator. I have it on the chart for you guys to see. Just like the Donchian Channel. I don't use the Donchian Channel when I'm trading, but I have it on my chart for you guys to see because it just pictures things clearer for you. I have no problem recognizing, for example, in the NQ, that this pivot right here that ran this down got broken when this ran up. And so that means most likely we're going long. Once you break that pivot to the left, one direction or another, that's the fingerprint that we talk about. Best trader of all time. Absolutely. I need to just drink alcohol all day because apparently that'll make me a better trader. It works for her. Best trader of all times, man. She should be working at Wharton School of Business, teaching, finance, the MBAs. That's what she should be doing. I mean, if you're going to be that good, God, I'd hate to see her pass away before giving away all that knowledge. Useless. That's what she is. Useless. Okay, so finally, all our markets in our agreement. Once NQ kind of crawls back up here, but they're all in agreement now. That's good news. So we can start looking for rotations to be in agreement. Look at that. See, So let me just point this out too while we're sitting here. You see this point right here? Let me blow this up. So you see this point right here that became our support overnight right here for the low? Nobody should be surprised that when we blew through there, that is exactly where it went before it rotated down. Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support, and vice versa all the way around. So when we blew through here, that's exactly where we went right here. That I knew that pullback was too sharp. Something had to be to my left. Whew, man. I'm still struggling. I'm still running a fever or a temperature, but I feel better. I know that. NQ got stuck behind. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have that on. You guys can't see it. So NQ got stuck behind. It's the one lagging the rest of the market right now. Yep. Wow. 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 All right. Does anybody want to know my what I would love to see right now? Anybody want to know? I'd love to see this thing rotate right back to here and then take a long right here or in this pile. Now this pile becomes legit again because we went up and did some things. We can come back down here. These lines will become valid again to trade. I would love to see that. I am looking at the ES right here. If we can get the ES back inside here. We broke a Donchian Channel long. If we can get the ES back inside this red line right here, I might be interested in a trade back to here. Man. I think gold is just going to stay in the dumper all day. That's what it looks like. Jesus. This isn't looking good either. That's not looking good either. What the hell? No, I'm not taking that. Yeah, I'm not taking that. A hammer candle to the bottom. I'm not taking that. Nope. Hammer candle to the bottom. I'm not taking that long. Forget that. Forget that. Shoot. Boy, the NQ just got hammered. Look at the NQ. Let me look to its left. Do I see anything? I don't see a thing. It just got hammered. It's down through the low right now. Holy shit. Yeah. NQ is down through the low. Wow. That's what I was talking about. Neo, I don't know how to enunciate your name. Sorry. Is the rotations in gold are just ridiculous right now. Absolutely ridiculous. The dollar amounts that you can make on a gold swing right now are just insane. Okay, Noah. Sorry. All right, there you go. All right, thank you. I'll call you Noah. Sorry. I have a nephew named Noah. I should be able to remember that now. Yeah, the rotations in gold are insane. Just need gold to do something. See, like, for example, right here with gold, let me just give you an example right here with gold. So if gold right now rotated up, okay, and went into our red line, because remember our red line is going to keep trending down, and we can get a red line short, say here, where we didn't crush this pivot here, then I'd be looking for it for a 5-minute red line short. Mike, did you take the break of those consolidated candles there in gold, like at the 1027, the 1026 candle? Oh yeah, I could sit here and show some of these rotations, but I mean, at the end of the day, would I have even had the nerve to hold them? When I'm looking at my P&L and it's up, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, do I have the nerve to hold it? Excuse me. Wow. All right. We might get a 1-minute gold line set up in the NQ. Just need it to pull up a little more. Come on, pull up, NQ. Shit. So we had reset, crossover, new low, rotation. I need it to rotate up. I'm not liking the way this is getting stuck here. We just blew it. This candle actually broke this candle. We just blew it right there. That right there. Yeah, wow. Jesus. Yeah. That right there. All right, so, but that doesn't mean the RTY short on the red line is not possibly a trade right here. We had a crossover retest to the red line. See that crossover, retest to the red line, potentially short in the RTY. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill that too. Whew. Yeah, I agree with that, Commish. I mean, I do trade micros in the NQ, and it really helps. It helps me. When the NQ's acting stupid, I'll trade micros. Today would have been obviously a day to do that in gold. I mean, not every day is gold doing what it's doing today. You know what I mean? Gold's just being insane today. I mean, yeah, the rotations are big in gold lately, but today's just a little bit beyond normal for some reason. I mean, it's down 4%. That's a lot of swing for gold. 4% when it's at $4,200. That's a lot of swing. That's not normal. All right, come on, RTY. Come on, RTY. Let's do this. Good job, Wayne. There you go. There you go. Sorry. Jesus. Whew. All right. Exactly, Amelia. That's what I talk about to people. It's exactly what I talk about to people. I say, I didn't trade gold years ago because you just shit oil moved more than gold. So I would trade oil. Now it's like, the hell. Got to trade gold. The money's in the moves in gold. It's not there. There's no moves in oil when it's $58 a barrel. Get the hell out of here. All right, come on, RTY. Come on. We need RTY to come back up here, break this, come back, hit a 1 minute gold line and go long. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need over here. We could end up getting the same pattern in the YM. Come up, break here, sit there, boom, gone. The ES has just rolled north of the red line again, so that's good. NQ's gonna get there. Well, it turns out it is a W. It's not the W I like, George. Well, for two reasons. I mean, number one, and trust me, I'm still watching this for those of you wondering. But see, we came from a lower rotation. I like if you got to look at it like if the intent is to go long, then you want the second pivot to be higher than the first pivot. Because then the pivots also agree with the pattern. Because if your pivots are rotating up and you're going long, then you're in agreement with your pivots. Am I making sense? Hey, morning, Matt. How you doing, buddy? All right, so I'm looking for that RTY setup we talked about. The YM trade may set up for the exact same thing. Be nice if they both did it together. I'm down $30 today. I'm still sick from last week. I've got this fucking cold I'm trying to get over. But I'm doing all right. Hey, I contracted a house this morning already. I did. I contracted a house this morning already. I was productive this morning. Yeah, I'm down $30. I know. $30 in gold. The gold candles were so big today that I entered a trade, and before I can even grab my stop, I was stopped out. And of course the trade worked. Of course, the trade worked. So I dug myself out of that hole. Yeah, thank you, Wayne. Yeah. Yeah, I contracted. It's going to be a big, I'm doing a big cape in the mountains of North Carolina. I contracted that today. Good job, Amelia. Yeah, it's a big cape. I'm putting a dormer on one side and a dormer on the other side of the roof. And then I'm going to put a 26-foot wide, 8-foot deep gable end covered porch off the front of it. It's going to be a beautiful house. So I put that contract together this morning. The house itself, the main floor of the house is 1,941 square feet. So it's pretty good size. Good to see you, Callie. All right. So the RTY one didn't set up, but that's okay. Maybe the YM one will set up. Maybe the YM pattern will set up. I'm fine with the YM setting up. Hell, the YM's been trading better than the RTY lately, really. The one I'm building is in Hendersonville, North Carolina, Wayne. That's where that one's going. I got another one to contract next week that I'm building in actually the town of Asheville towards Swannanoa. It's going to be a cape with 3 dormers on it, a 4-footer, and a 4-footer, and a 6-footer in the middle. That one's smaller. Its main floor is 1,610 square feet. It's been there's been a slowdown in this area, Cali, since May of last year. Yeah, Hendersonville's a nice area. Yeah, send it to me, Matt, and then maybe I can show it to people. That's a couple times lately I have been clipped by my own settings, and I hate to have my settings too big, but I also need to protect the candle I entered, and I'm just on trades that work, because you get that, that fight in the candle, but yeah, it is away from the rivers. And I hate building in Asheville. I absolutely hate building in Asheville. I've got a house in Candler right now. I've been building for a long time. Asheville's just it's a nightmare to deal with. The government in Asheville is just a fucking shit show. Makes me feel like I'm living in Albany, New York. The government in Asheville is just horrible. Now look what we just did in the YM. We literally tested the top of that break. What we need is we need it to come and settle on our 9 EMA. And it may not do it because it tested the top of the freaking break. Yeah, RTY has passed the rules, but I don't like the fact that this candle broke this candle's rotation up. I don't like that. Why is my charts moving? So I need this to go down. I need you to go down. I need you to go down. Come on. Come on, YM. Go down. Yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for her indictment too. Come on, YM. Ah, Jesus, YM. No. Okay. I thought it was going to bust long right there. Don't do it yet. Come on, YM. Pull back. All right, there we go. All right. If we break long, I'm going to take that one. The ES is sitting on top of the red line again, in conjunction with the YM sitting on this 1 minute gold line. That is a nice sign. That is a nice sign. What's my room here? 53. Wait, what is that? 52, about 20 ticks. It's kind of tight there. There's not a lot of swing in the YM today. There's not a lot of swing in it. All right, we're in. I'm in. I need it to go long. Come on. I need you to go long. Why are you not going long? The ES is going long. Why aren't you going long? What the hell? Come on, YM. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Come on. Wow. This is getting ugly. Come on. Really should have had more reaction than that. Whoa. All right, come on, go. I'm going to get out. Yep. Damn it. I took my little loss there. It just didn't get the reaction I'm looking for. Okay. That's going to go long. Look at it. Where am I? Look at the ES. See that, the trade I'm in, isn't that the way it always works? It does. I tell you, if I say I'm going to take the YM, you take the ES, because the ES just smooth rotation straight up. I get in the YM, it breaks the candle to the left. I always pick the wrong one. And look at the RTY. I notoriously pick the wrong instrument. I notoriously look at, so the RTY did it without breaking any rotations to its left. The one I'm in breaks the rotation to its left. That's always the case. That's always the case. Matt's the one that also, Noah, that coded our lines for labeled the lines. He's the one that labeled our lines. Just so like in this trade here, if you're still following the back, I don't know how many points up we are up. But I mean, it's just, and there we go. This, again, why did it do this candle here? Because I'm in it. That's why it did it. Well, it did this red candle right here because I'm in it. If I wasn't in it, then it would be looking like these candles, like the ES's candles and the RTY's candles. I'm telling you, I'm cursed. I'm cursed. I'll be right back. I'm going to blow my nose. No, I'm not letting you out. No. Oh, the cat. No, it's coming. Hold on. Mitty, come on. Mitty, come on. Come on. Hurry up. Come on. Yeah, my cat was screaming at the door to come in. All right, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. 888. If I'm taking the YM and the ES or the N or the RTY is setting up at the same time, do yourself a favor and take the instrument I'm not physically taking, because that'll be the one that'll do the trade exactly the way it's supposed to. Even though the RTY trade worked, it had to come and take me out. It just had to do that. It just had to do that. It had to do that. Whereas the other three didn't do that, or the other two. They went in straight lines, straight lines. Even the ES went in a damn straight line. The ES is sitting right at the overnight open right now. God, that's a beautiful trade in the ES. 73 to 79. 6 points, $300 in a straight line. It was a red line. It crossed over, tested it, hammer candle, right back to the red line. I mean, right back to the overnight open. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one here. Hold on. Grabbed the wrong one. Anyways, both those setups, I mean, all these setups were beautiful. And again, it's in that time frame where, like, between 10:15 and 11 o'clock, that's when I have found that, the moving average trades have been working the best lately. Yeah, the nice part about this RTY trade, man, was, even though it broke this pivot here, was just this candle, and then it started from here. So we already cleaned out half this candle, and then it ran. I mean, that's a pattern-wise, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Long finger reached, cleaning out stops, and then swing the other way. Long fingered. You see those big long fingers, and they start going the other way, man. It's like, get out of the way. or jump on board, one or the other. Well, the ones that are short are jumping off the train. Wow. Jesus, ES. Well, the ES just took off. Interesting. Yeah, the ES just took off. Get the hell out of here. Wow, what a rotation in the ES. It went from the low at 10 o'clock to 1 point from the high at 10:56. Jesus, Wayne. Yeah, man, that NQ will light you up. Oh, do we not have any likes today, George? I haven't even looked, man. I'm telling you, I'm lethargic today. I really don't feel good still. Yeah, we're lagging behind on some likes there. Hey, Jim, how you doing? I should have just had you doing this, Jim, for the last day or so. I'm freaking sick. Got a screaming headache. Those gold swings have been amazing today, Jim. Jesus. Yeah, wild morning. Wild morning. Just absolutely wild morning. I in gold, Jim, I had to turn off my what do you call it there? My trade saver, because it was skipping my entries. Okay, David. What I really want is the ES just went through the high. The ES just went through its high. So what we need the ES to do now, what we really need the ES to do, I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is the trade right there. Look at that. Jesus. What we really need ES to do now is to rotate down here and then be able to take a long. We may be able to get a rotation up here and take a long. I don't like the fact that it's way away from the red line doing that. But the interesting part about that is the YM's the one that's been saying all along, hey, guys, I know you're way, way down there, but we're going long. See you tomorrow, Ivan. Wayne, don't be mean. Are you talking to me, Jesse? Or did somebody say something above? Yeah, I know, Jim. It's insane. It was insane in gold this morning. The rotations are ridiculous. I mean, it's nothing for a $10 trade. It's nothing for a $10 trade. It's a $10 swing. Excuse me. By the way, we in the NQ here, pay attention to the NQ because we may get a long setting up here in the 1 minute with a 1 minute gold line in the NQ because it is rotating. It is definitely trying to rotate long. I'd prefer to see it come back down and hit the red line myself, but okay, here comes the ES. Here comes the ES doing what I was hoping it would do. All right, I'm going to drag this down here. The YM still wandering away. Look at that. The YM is just like, follow me, guys. Follow me. Unbelievable. What a day in the YM, huh? Yeah, I've been there, Wayne. I've been there. I don't allow myself to be stupid anymore. I try not to. Let's put it that way. All right, let's see here. Come on, close up, close up, close up, close up. Oh, shoot. Damn it. Well, hold on here. I'm looking at the NQ, but I don't want to drag it down while this candle's closing. Damn it. Come on. Don't come down and get me out. What are you doing? Go back up. There you go. Now go. Now go. What are you doing? Not a good situation. Not a good situation at all. Nope. Damn it. That was not good. This is coming down to here. That's the problem. The ES is coming down further. It's going to test those other lines. Damn it. Yeah, Jess. I mean, everybody saw me withdraw like, I think it was $12,000 out of my account last week. Well, to reset myself for this week. What is the RTY doing? It's going up. What's going on here? Come on. Look at that. Look at the YM. Jesus. Would you go long, please? I'm just sitting here staring at this ES. It just won't go anywhere. Come on, ES, go long. Come on. I don't understand why it's just sitting here. Come on, ES, go long. I don't understand why it's just sitting there. Come on, ES, go long. Go long, ES. There you go. Now go. Now go. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. Jesus. Yeah, I was in the ES, Rick. I took it back to the pivot. It just kept, it just kept doing whatever. Thank you, Jesse. Are you new in the room, Jesse? If you are, somebody in here can attest. I keep a weekly number, and then I show my P&L, and then what I do is at the end of, not the end of a week, what I do is I wait till I get my balance. So I run my balance from about $2,000 up to about, like, say 8. Well, things just got on fire last week. So I was up at like 14, and I took my balance back down to, back to 2. Here it is on here, $300. So I like to start at a low balance, keeps me disciplined on not doing stupid stuff. And then I walk it up, and then I take the money out. And I took the money out Friday. So I just take the money back out once I run it up. And my objective, Jess, really is $1,000 a week. It's not something crazy. Just last week kind of got a little insane. But I took that long for everybody to get my money back. I took this long back up to here in the ES to get my money back that I lost in my NQ trade. I just can't drag these charts over fast enough to show everybody what the hell's going on, And look at that. And look at the ES. That's kind of what I got afraid of. See, the red line's so far down here that it's really hard for it to run away. So when it did even get there, see, it rolled back over. To be honest with you, I'd prefer it would come down here and then take a long. That's what I would prefer. The YM just decided it's going to go into another stratosphere today. Frustrating. No, I don't see a red line commish in gold right now because it's taking too long to get there, being a little bit too lackadaisical. That doesn't mean a red line won't set up. because, what has a tendency to happen, and I've called it out on here. Christine is an example. I've called it out on here before, is if it meanders its way here, it has a tendency to go up on the other side of the red line, close some whole candles, if not more. Then when it rotates back inside the red line, comes up, tests it, boom, and that's your short. So you want the red line to fail if it meanders its way there. You want the red line to fail. Then you want deliberate pushback below that red line and roll back up into it, and then boom, you're short. You work at the state of New York? Come on, Matt. Quit lying. See you, Matt. Good job, Patriot. American Patriot, American Patriot. Love that title. Okay, so the ES is doing what I was originally hoping it would do, which is come down and test these lines, not these lines, not this line. They may come down here to the red line. Damn. Oh, yeah. Jesus, look at that thing go. Holy cow. Oof, look, good thing I got out. Good thing I got out right here, huh? Good thing I got out right here. Good thing I got out of that ES trade right there. Jesus. I said it before and I'll say it again. I would like to see a red line. This would be a good spot for a red line here. NQ is, I don't know. NQ is just a shit show right now. Damn. Look at this candle in the NQ. So is the red line trying to fight back? You tell me. Look at the size of that candle right there. See, the red line's trying to fight back, but we didn't come from a recent high. We came from a lower high. So that's not a good trade. But there was a battle there. Look at the size of that candle. But that's not a setup. I got to come from a high, not a recent high. Not a lower high, sorry. Yeah, I decided on that ES trade to just get my money back. Live to trade another day. Just got to find I got to wake up. If I can wake up tomorrow and gold can stay inside the static lines and have some good rotations, I had 2 days last week where I eclipsed over $1,000 just by being patient and waiting for gold to do what it needed to do. Right now, it's just out in the stratosphere. It's so far down. It is just down. It is just down. The trade of the day was the crossover retest of the PriorDay Open. Boom, back to there. That was a $3,600 trade if you caught that. 36, and it went, bam. But anyways, I obviously didn't catch it. Oh, Jesus. If I'm going to talk about it, show it, Bob. Jesus. Guys, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that the chart's on the wrong screen. Anyways, gold is just way down today, as Wayne was joking about. And then, but the trade was that crossover retest. Boom, right to there. I was praying for a rotation right here, back to there, boom, to there. That was the trade I was praying for, and it just didn't happen. But if you just know, if you know what the rotations look like, you just got to be patient until one sets up and catch it, and then let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Make your money. Shoot. I'm sorry. I'm looking here. God, it might have been. Shoot. It might have been. Kind of looks like the ES. I don't know. Kind of looks like it wants to go to the red line. Pattern wise, it was a setup. The ES was a setup pattern wise, because you can't get much more deliberate than that. And this hammer candle right here, that's a nice sign too. They're trying. Let's put it this way: the ones taking that trade, they're trying to force it long. They really are. You can see that with this candle. That's a big candle for the ES. All the way back up. I mean, if I would have been paying attention, I would have been in that. I would have been in that trade. Just got to remember, not every trade works. That's why your winners have to be bigger than your losers. Sorry, Christine. I saw it too late. I was not paying attention. I would have probably taken it. Obviously, I would have lost my money. Pattern wise, it was there, but now you're inside the prior day close. It's forcing it down. I mean, it's just now you're in a tough situation. But that was a pattern. To answer your question, that was definitely a pattern. I would have been in that if I was paying attention. Yeah, the inside candle. I mean, dude, everything was there. You had a hammer candle right here. You had an inside candle right here. Boom, that would have been my entry. My stop would have been below this candle, so I would have lost from whatever this is to whatever that is. Not a lot of money. I wouldn't have lost a lot of money, but I would have been in that trade for sure. For sure. Absolutely. 100%. That is a setup without a doubt. Absolutely a setup. It's still holding that gold line. See, this candle's at the top. This candle's at the top. This candle went through it. I mean, it's still holding the gold line. Yeah, exactly. If you go into the concept, exactly. If you go into these trades with the concept in your mind that 50% are going to work, 50% don't, and you are and you are committed to letting your targets that are bigger than your stops. And of course, like I always say, I manage my stop, like for example, on a long from the bottom up. So once I entered this trade right here, and then this candle formed and then went like that, my stop would have been right there. So I would have lost from here to here, which is shoot, man, that's a little over a point. You're talking like $65 loss. But my target would have been up in here looking for like $300 to $500. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I would have lost 65 or $75 maybe, something like that. Looking for, $300, $400, $500, whatever the rotation shows you. I mean, the rotation technically on this one, as long as it can get through that high, the rotation's really from here to here. And there's still a battle going on here. Keep in mind, the bigger traders that are in this is their stops down here. They're trying to hold the line. Exactly. It's all about probabilities. And so, and then so if it's not and here's the thing that God dang, I could do a whole story about this. That's one of the things that when I first started trading, I really, really, really struggled with, because I'm a math-minded person, probably because I can't read, but I'm a math-minded person. So as a math-minded person, you're used to take, 2 + 2 is always 4. I mean, I don't give a shit what somebody in Washington, D.C. says. It's 2 + 2 is always going to be 4. So with that math-minded mindset, your belief is that when all these rules are met, boom, it's you're supposed to be right. So I would buy my way into bad trades and just do stupid shit because I'm right. I'm going to be right. I'm going to make myself right. And I had to understand that there's, just because this setup was perfect, there's something else probably going on in the market that made this trade not work. And I can't be aware of everything going on in the market. So I have to be willing to take my $65, $75 loss and then live to trade another day. And that was my biggest struggle, because I didn't want to accept being wrong. But I'm not wrong. I'm using probabilities. So when I made that rotation in my little freaking pea brain, it really helped my trading out. Because I struggled with always having to be right, It's not good, because you're not going to always be right. Some trades are not going to work regardless, no matter how well they set up. God dang, that 5-minute red line in the NQ actually worked. But I mean, come on, man. Who has the nerve for that? I don't. So that big hammer candle they created over here, then you had this inside candle right here. That would be your long. Right back into that 9 EMA. That 9 EMA battled to push it back down. The red line pushed it back up. Now it's rotating. But I mean, that's too much shit for me. I don't have the nerve for that. I look for cleaner rotations, like what this should have been. Boom, boom, boom. Nice clean rotation. Should have been. Didn't do it, but should have been. Right here. Look at that. Okay. Geez, this is why when I move my charts around, I miss things. So let's look at the YM for a second. See this? I mean, there you go. There you go. The kiss of death. That's the kiss of death right there. That tells you right there the market's rolling over. That's the kiss of death right there. You had your high, you rotated to your 9, your 9 pushed it up, didn't break your high again. I mean, I talk about this all the time. If you just, it's amazing how just a finger of a tick can tell you what's going to happen. So we didn't go through. It didn't have to actually touch equally. It could have been anywhere lower than that too. But any rotation up that then doesn't break this pivot, that's a sign we're going that way until it finds support. The support right now seems to be the 9 EMA on the 5-minute red line. I mean, on the 5-minute chart. But anyways, that's... Wow. You had signs it was going to fail right here too. You had this candle right here that got broken to the long side before it rolled down. So you had signs this was going to fail. You had your first sign that this was going to fail was right there, that candle, because this pulled back, this candle created, this one broke up, and then it rolled over. You did not go back through the high. So this was your first sign that this was going to roll over. When you start seeing those things like that, it'll start giving you some more clarity as to what's going on. Again, it's not 100% right, but it's, again, the probabilities start kicking in. Just like you said, 888, it's the probabilities. And when this candle right here broke this candle to the left and did not go through that high, that's right there. Probability starts stacking. Then this one goes up and comes back down before it breaks that high. Probability starts stacking even more. And what are those probabilities? Those probabilities are that we're going to go this direction and seek support. And that may be exactly why the ES just didn't kick off. I need to go back and look at those candles. Let's see here. This is 11:20. Where's my 11:20 candle in the ES? Help me pull it up here. Way over here. Wow. Well, this thing had already given up the ghost. And we're trying to take a long. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? Well, it looks like the market's going to go to sleep for a while. So I'm going to shut down for the day. It's 11:30. I got to get some work done. So I actually lost money today. Jesus, can you believe that? I lost money today. Yeah, I lost $45. Lost 45 bucks. If the market kind of comes to life a little later and I'm got a little time, I'll try to get my money back. Probably be able to see something later. But see, what we're doing right now with the ES is we're doing what I don't like. We're sitting on the overnight open. Yeah, no lunch. I know, no lunch for me. I hate to say this, Amelia, but I haven't eaten lunch in probably a week. I just been sick. I haven't been eating in the daytime at all. Just not good. Yeah. So the ES is at my pet peeve spot, and it's not rotating. That's not a good sign. We're back at equilibrium and we're not moving. So I'll probably take that out of the rotation for today, for the rest of today on any trades, and go from there. Anyways, everybody have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully gold can do something for us during our trading time tomorrow, where we can catch one of those rotations, put some good money in our pockets. I think some people did catch an RTY trade today for some good money. Good job, Green. Good job, Wayne. There you go, Wayne. Wayne, you're just embarrassing me today. Just embarrassing me. But I'm excited for you, Wayne. Excellent. Excellent job. Excellent job. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you later.